people are confirmed dead as Mexican first responders are still searching for survivors of Tropical Storm Earl. Earl had briefly been a hurricane before it hit the Yucatan Peninsula. There it dumped rain and triggered deadly landslides for the past several days. Andrea Arenas has more.
So far, the worst affected state has been Puebla in central Mexico, where almost 30 people were killed in mudslides. Another 10 people were reported dead in the Gulf Coast state of Veracruz. Before touching town in Mexico, Earl hit Belize and Guatemala in Central America. The storm downgraded to a tropical depression as it continued westward into the mountains of central Mexico. Andrea Arenas, Washington.
And our nation's Gulf Coast is about to be hit with heavy rain as well, which could bring widespread flooding over the next few days. Most of the northern Florida panhandle will be dealing with showers and thunderstorms. Forecasters say they could dump about a foot.
We're here to fix the machine.
Battlefield Live. You're listening to the Battlefield Live with Chris and Trey from Lanterns Radio Network, the Battlefield Live radio program. I want to thank you for joining us on the battlefield today. And wow, do we have a ton of stuff to get to today. And it's going to be a pretty epic show, I would say. Wouldn't you say, Trey?
Epic. Man, I'm excited to hear this show.
Yeah, so, all right, so this is what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about how the possibility of Hillary is very, very ill. Obviously, there's been a lot of focus on this in the media. And there is, I would say, a litany of evidence to show that there's some things going wrong with Mrs. Hillary Clinton. Also, I want to get into the fact that communists and fascists are a rise in America and how they're being treated differently. And it's not just something that's been treated differently recently. This has been all throughout American history. So I thought it'd be interesting to explore that today. As well as Hillary's emails. They are, bountiful fruit for not only the politicos in the United States, but also for, people that want to kill American spies, foreign enemies and that sort. And Hillary's getting the pass in the media. And at the end of the day, she should be in prison for all the stuff that's taken place. And the fact that these emails are not affecting anything is absolute BS. So we'll explore a little bit of that. But so other than that, Trey, how was your weekend, dude?
Horrible. I got into a car accident, lost my vehicle, my back hurts, my neck hurts.
I thought you said you weren't feeling too bad.
No, I was feeling great on Saturday when it actually happened, but as time has kind of gone on a little bit, it's not bad. It's not like I'm walking. It's like I have a cane or a walker or anything, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
But it's definitely noticeable. There's a little hitch in my giddy up.
All right. Did you actually see what was coming, or it just happened all of a sudden?
No. I'm just sitting there waiting my turn to go, and all of a sudden, pow! And I look up in the rearview mirror, and I see what I think is a car stuck between me and another car whose front windshield is just full of airbags and smoke.
Wow.
And
your car was pretty much in bad shape, or
not too bad, undrivable, but ought to be pretty easy to fix. A little bumper, damage. Yeah, a little bumper fixed, little back rear quarter panel up into the driver's door, and all of the underneath muffler exhaust system replaced. So,
man, I tell you what, I've only gotten, I think 2 wrecks in my whole life, knock on wood. And on the way, I was on the interstate. And this one was my fault, actually. I was driving, and I had just gotten my new truck, and I wasn't real comfortable with the blind spots in this truck yet.
Right.
And I had looked over to my left shoulder. And it was funny because it was that night was like the Monster Jam or something like that. and I was coming like past,
Sunday, monster. Yeah.
So I was going down to Gordon Biersch to have a beer and visit my sister for her birthday or something like that. Anyway, so I'm going around Causeway on the interstate, and I look to my left because I see some traffic kind of starting to slow. And I said, I'm gonna go all the way to Canal and just take Canal up to Gordon Biersch. I'm gonna get around all that traffic. And of course, I looked over my shoulder. I wasn't comfortable. When I looked back, I looked forward again or looked back over my shoulder again. And when I turned, everybody had stopped. And I just remember like jerking the wheel and seeing a baby seat in the car that I was about to smash into.
Oh.
And I was just, I was freaked out. And it was kind of like a glancing blow, you know?
Right.
And this was the first accident I've ever been in that actually I was at fault. Last accident it was not my fault. So I was like freaked out, you know? My first thought was, oh my God, I hope everybody's okay. Right. So I pulled over, barely could drive the thing, pulled over, jumped out, ran over to the car, checked on the couple that was in there and with the baby, you know, they were okay. They were just kind of in shock. And, you know, so they pulled the car over. Anyway, it was just like it ruins so much in your life.
Yeah.
You know?
No, I'll see that. And I was in college on my way, hurrying to get to practice so that I wasn't late for practice. And I was looking for a mailbox to drop an envelope into, and just not paying attention, dude. And I was doing about 55, and it was a Indian lady, you know, like with a dot. She was stopped waiting to make a left-hand turn, and dude, I didn't even hit the brakes.
Really?
I just doing 55, looking left, looking right, didn't see her. Should have been looking straight ahead. Kai pow! My airbags come out, crinkled up the front part of my truck. I had a little Ford Ranger, and she gets out, dude, and she's pregnant.
Oh,
She is full belly pregnant. And I'm like, oh my God, please don't drop the baby now. And everything seemed to be all right. I mean, I
all
didn't
of
get
a sudden
sued.
you would have went from a driver to a doctor all of a sudden.
Yeah, like either that or just like real quick. You know, I'm thinking, oh God, please don't go out. I mean, she don't want to be bleeding. Her stomach like got smashed into the steering wheel or something. And
Right.
But I think everything worked out fine. But it was that scary, very scary moment. And then there was another time where I was driving from school when I was coaching. I had graduated and I was coaching, and I had to run home real quick. It was raining, and I got in a curve, and I hydroplaned. Again, I was driving a different Ford Ranger, but I hydroplaned up onto the median, slid across the median, came off the median into a U-turn lane, and hit the other median with the two wheels, and the vehicle flipped over and over and over into the center lane of traffic. Gladly, nothing hit me, and I come to a rest, and I had to crawl out the passenger window because my truck was on its driver's side window.
Gee whiz.
Nobody else was hit, no other injuries, no other cars involved. And I think that, and then one time I had a PT Cruiser, and
How many wrecks have you been in, dude?
I had a PT Cruiser, and I happened to glance over to the something that was going on the sidewalk. It was a squirrel or something. And
Oh, look, a squirrel.
yeah, and then pow, ran into the back of somebody, and I couldn't get my PT Cruiser back for like almost a year. And then one time I was up on the right in front of the Superdome.
Let me ask this question. You and a PT Cruiser. We got to discuss this.
What? Listen, my PT Cruiser was off the chain. I had 24s on the back and 18s on the front. I had a roll pan bumper, 2 coats of limo tint around the back and the whole back side. I had 2 TVs in the headrest. I had a PlayStation. This tells you how old it was. I had a PlayStation 2 in the vehicle under the front seat so you could play, and I had a TV in the front. Dude, my PT Cruiser was off the chain.
It was like a CRT type television?
I don't even know what that is. It was just typical head,
Well, it didn't have like ears on it or anything.
No. And I didn't want to put rabbit ears on my. No, this was cool, dude. And it was a DVD player, so I would play. I would play Rush Hour over and over and over and listen to like Chris. What's his name for Rush Hour with Jackie Chan? Chris Tucker.
Yeah.
It had that first rush hour, just the whole thing memorized. And so then I got into that one accident where my master cylinder went out.
While you were driving?
While I was driving.
Holy crap.
And so I pressed
Folks,
the
if you
brake.
don't know what that is basically your brakes going out.
So, dude, I'm pumping the
all
brake.
Of a sudden, you fill up your draw.
Yeah, look, and the brake pedal is just going to the ground. And, dude, I kept bouncing.
Puckering is taking place.
Dude, I just kept bouncing. Bang! And bang! Bang! Into the same car like 3 or 4 times until I finally, the car in front of me acted like my brakes. So, anyway. All right. And there was a couple more after that, but we won't have time for that because we're up against the break.
Lord.
So, 504-556-9696. Epic show on the way. Stick around with us. Battlefield Live, Chris and Trey on WGSO 990 AM. We'll be right back.
Millions of people are asking the question, what has happened to America? Is there hope? What will our children and grandchildren face in years to come? America, there is hope. The same hope expressed by the colonists in 1607 when they placed a cross on the Virginia shore, proclaiming, "In God we trust." In God we trust. It's still our hope. It's our future. It's our national motto. Go to ingodwetrust.com and get your hope today.
Experience Augie's, formerly Augie's Glass Garden, now in Harahan. Augie's, truly a gorgeous place. Where can you go to experience super jumbo soft-shell crabs for only $14.95 and the area's largest seafood platters? Private parties, receptions, reunions, and events of all types can be handled at Augie's. 6005 Jefferson Highway in Harahan. Call for reservations 733-3000. Check us out on the web, augiesnola.com. Playmakers Indoor Sports offers youth and adult leagues for soccer and flag football, NFL youth flag football, and youth developmental programs. Playmakers Tots program is a youth development program for children ages 18 months to 7 years. Playmakers Tots uses sports like soccer, football, baseball, and basketball to help kids work on motor development, learn to work together, follow directions, and improve listening skills while learning that activity is fun. To register for classes, go to our registration page at playmakersindoor.com or call 504-305-6078. Playmakersindoor.com. 6124 Jefferson Highway in Harahan.
Are you looking for a reasonable and affordable way to enhance your image or your company's image on the internet? Are you looking for ways to leverage internet technology to streamline your business? An upgraded website or web application is the way to go. Vast Virtual Solutions is a technology company that specializes in developing websites that operate on the cutting edge with the ability to save you and your business time and money. Visit vastvirtual.com for a business quote today. vastvirtual.com.
Did you ever think that the presumptive Republican nominee for President of the United States would have similar policy and, suggestions as the Democratic Socialist candidate?
I never thought that a Republican candidate for president would hold both liberal and conservative policies at the same time.
Right.
I mean,
like
this is totally
gyroscope.
fascinating. Visit the website battlefield.buzz for the latest from Chris and Trey from the Battlefield Live radio show. You're listening to the Battlefield. This is Chris and Trey from Lanterns Radio Network, WGSO 990 AM. If you want to talk to us and tell us some stories about car accidents, or if we just talk about the other accident, the other wreck out there, which is the Republican and Democratic Party, we could do that. Just give us a call, 504-556-9696. Also, if you want to tweet us at LanternsBuzz. You can also contact us on Facebook, facebook.com/LanternsBuzz. And make sure you check out lanterns.buzz, the website, as well as battlefield.buzz. And you can check us out, or at least check out our podcast on Spreaker, SoundCloud, YouTube, iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, and Player.fm. Just do a keyword search for Lanterns Buzz. So,
hey, our friend Philly Pete,
yes.
He, I caught some lunch with him today, and we were talking, and he goes, dude, man, this whole scenario with Hillary and Trump has got to be killing you, huh?
What you mean?
Meaning, he was saying that, like, it's got to be, like, worst case scenario, right? Like, there's no good choices. you're having it's the Overton window, right? Like everybody, like who would you accept right now as a significantly better choice over Hillary Clinton or Donald Trump to vote for?
You asking me?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if I could pick Ted Cruz, I'd pick Ted Cruz.
Well, Ted lost, so we can't pick him. Would you take Mitt Romney right now?
Yes, I would take Mitt Romney over Trump.
There you go.
That's pretty damn bad.
That's what I'm saying. That's the Overton window. That's how
well,
far.
I mean, the thing is it's you know what you're going to get. What's crazy about it is Donald Trump's policy on the border is great based on what he says.
Correct.
Right. But I can't trust what he says.
Yeah, but he just endorsed an open borders Republican.
Yeah, and his trade policy's terrible.
But that's not where I want to go. My point is I said yes. This political season is like my Kobayashi Maru.
Oh yeah,
right. You know what that is, right?
No, but it sounds funny.
The Kobayashi Maru. That is the test that all cadets at the Star Trek, the academy, that all cadets go through. That it's the no-win situation, right? And only Captain Kirk passed successfully the Kobayashi Maru. Kobayashi Maru is supposed to be the ship that is marooned in the neutral zone, and if you cross over into the neutral zone to try to rescue them, you create an intergalactic situation. If you don't go, they die because their ship is on life support. So what do you do? And Kirk is the only cadet to have ever successfully passed the Kobayashi Maru. And so we were thinking today, we're like, this political season is definitely my version of the This is the no-win situation,
So was this set up to be the segue into the next piece that I wanted to talk about?
It could be. I don't know.
I think you're reading my mind.
No,
some kind of.
I'm glad it worked.
What was it? What's Spock? He's a
Vulcan.
He's a Vulcan. It's some Vulcan mind control.
Yeah, that's correct.
That's what you got going.
A little mind melding.
Yeah. So communists and fascists are on the rise in America. This is no secret.
Right.
Of course, people don't like to say the C word or the F word, and I'm not talking about the words that you dirty minds out there are thinking about. I'm simply talking about communists and fascists.
Oh, good. Stop reading my mind.
Yeah, I know where your mind was going. So.
Right.
So the media has been set ablaze with white nationalist Nazis supporting Trump, right? You heard about this?
Well, no, but I mean, we have one here who's going around the state saying that if you support Trump, then you have to support me and David Duke.
Right. So, but at the same time, there's no outrage for communists supporting Hillary Clinton.
That's a great point. It's a shame that we live in a country that has no disdain for communists, but hates nationalists.
All right, so let's play around with this a bit, okay? So one of the things that we always hear about when we hear about the Nazis, and first of all, we don't ever hear about National Socialists. We hear Nazis, right? We hear fascists. We hear about the terrible atrocities that Hitler participated in.
Right.
By all means, I am not taking any of that light, right? But at the same time, if you look at the communists and what they've done, the amount of mass genocide that they have been a part of, and the death and murder that they've been a part of, tremendously overshadows what Hitler took place in, right?
Right, the raw carnage of what they did to their people.
Absolutely tenfold. I mean,
and that doesn't include
Lenin alone was like 100 million people or something crazy like that.
Right, and that doesn't even include the amount of their own people that they sacrificed in war and the number of people that they killed during the times of war.
Right. I mean, we're not talking about like putting people in a gas chamber and killing them in a few minutes with some gas, right? We're talking about making them starve to death.
Yeah, like Stalin did to all the people in Ukraine.
Yes, if we want to get into like the 5 and 10 year plans and all that stuff,
of Mao.
Yeah, if you look at Mao's plans and what he actually did, I mean, he destroyed the people there by just trying to manage the economy.
Yeah, not to mention what he did to eviscerate the Christian populations of the country.
Right. So So one of the things that I always get taken back by is that, when people always talk about like George Bush being a fascist and all this stuff, the definition of fascism to me always gets polluted because it always is mischaracterized as a right-wing dictatorship or something to that effect.
Right.
When in fact, what we're talking about is a big government, socialist government that directs, for the most part, the economy.
Right, as a central planner.
Right. It's not like a communist, which is not nationalist in nature.
Right, because nobody wants to compare one of our elected officials or a potentially elected official to any of those monsters.
Right.
And we don't have really any. I mean, the worst that we have in America is like internment camps.
Yeah, FDR.
Or Woodrow Wilson with the Germans.
Right. And the thing is with Woodrow Wilson and FDR, both of these were left-wing, progressive, communist type leaders.
Democrats.
That's correct. Democrats, we can call them Democrats, but the bottom line is if you look at their philosophy, this is really, one of the things that I have been so, interested in.
Right.
Is that the parallels between, leaders like, Hitler and Stalin and Lenin. And I'm not talking about what they actually did. I'm talking about the things that they believed.
Right.
What drove them to kill people, right? And these are things that, such as communism and fascism or socialism generally. So socialism drove these people to do these horrible things because not only did it replace religion in the sense that we know it, being that we worship God, things of that nature, it replaced it in the worship of man. And in order to worship man, you have to look at man as something above you, or this person that you worship, like Lenin or Stalin, Mao or whatever. You see their statues in facades everywhere.
Right.
Right. So they give up their rights because these people are all knowing and they're able to take care of them like God would. Right. I mean, we sacrifice, or I should say we give up a lot based on trusting our God and what he has told us to do. Right. In other words, you don't pursue certain things that are that you are told by the book that you read.
Correct. Right. You self-regulate. You die to self.
Right.
For a greater virtue.
It's exactly right. There's no different than people that were in Mao's China that gave up what they really, really loved and what they had in their ownership and property and all that for somebody who thought that was going to deliver them to heaven on earth.
Yeah, they put a faith or a hope and a belief in something else.
Right. So if you step back from all that chaos and nonsense, and if you just look at the tenets of what those people believe, you'll find the similar tenets or some similarities in what our current leadership is offering. Doesn't mean that they're going to go out and they're going to put people in internment camps and execute people in gas chambers and stuff like that. But what it'll do is it'll disarm the people in a way, and I'm not talking about taking their guns away, but taking away their natural skepticism of government, right? Because they're the only ones that can fix it.
Right.
So the fact that communists are supporting Clinton and fascists are supporting Trump, it says a lot. It doesn't mean that Hillary is a communist and doesn't mean that Trump is a fascist per se. But the fact that these people are being supported by these people see that we're heading, they can push the country in a direction that they desire, right? So what we're going to do, we'll talk about a little bit more of this in the back end of the hour here. And so stick with us on the Battlefield Live radio program with Chris and Trey. We'll dig a little bit more on the Lanterns Radio Network, WGSO 990 AM with Chris and Trey on the Battlefield. We'll be right back.
Experience Augie's, formerly Augie's Glass Garden, now in Harahan. Augie's, truly a gorgeous place. Where can you go to experience super jumbo soft-shell crabs for only $14.95 and the area's largest seafood platters? Private parties, receptions, reunions, and events of all types can be handled at Augie's. 6005 Jefferson Highway in Harahan. Call for reservations 733-3000. Check us out on the web, augiesnola.com.
Millions of people are asking the question, what has happened to America? Is there hope? What will our children and grandchildren face in years to come? America, there is hope. The same hope expressed by the colonists in 1607 when they placed a cross on the Virginia shore, proclaiming, "In God we trust." In God we trust. It's still our hope. It's our future. It's our national motto. Go to InGodWeTrust.com and get your hope today.
Playmakers Indoor Sports. TOTS program is one of Playmakers' most popular. Our professionally developed curriculum provides our TOTS with a variety of fun games and exercise in a positive, enjoyable, and exciting environment. These great games help your little one develop their motor skills, create confidence, improve their listening skills, and learn how to follow directions, all while promoting fitness and activity. Our TOTS groups range from 18 months to 7 years. Sign up your little tot today or call 504-305-6078. PlaymakersIndoor.com.
Are you looking for a reasonable and affordable way to enhance your image or your company's image on the internet? Are you looking for ways to leverage internet technology to streamline your business? An upgraded website or web application is the way to go. Vast Virtual Solutions is a technology company that specializes in developing websites that operate on the cutting edge with the ability to save you and your business time and money. Visit vastvirtual.com for a business quote today. vastvirtual.com.
Speaks in Detroit, Michigan, outlining his economic policy, saying he's calling for a moratorium on federal regulations and returning to a government that puts the American people first.
The rich will pay their fair share, but no one will pay so much that it destroys jobs or undermines our ability as a nation to compete.
Speaking in Florida, Democratic nominee Hillary Clinton wasted no time in attacking what Trump had to say in his speech.
His tax plans will give super big tax breaks to large corporations and the really wealthy, just like him and the guys who wrote the speech.
Wall Street starts the week in the red. The Dow loses 14 points, the Nasdaq down by 8. This is USA Radio News.
Did you know that dogs can get the flu? It's serious and very contagious. Chicago-based veterinarian Dr. Natalie Marks.
The dog flu spreads quickly in urban areas, doggy daycares, and dog parks. That's why it's so important for dog owners to know the facts to keep their four-legged friends healthy.
If This Dog Could Talk is a campaign raising awareness for the dog flu, something that's only been present in this country since 2003. Dr. Natalie Marks.
The best treatment option for the dog flu is effective prevention. There are vaccines available. You should speak with your veterinarian to decide if your pet is at risk.
Visit doginfluenza.com and follow hashtag #IfThisDogCouldTalk on Twitter. That's doginfluenza.com and follow hashtag #IfThisDogCouldTalk on Twitter. This message brought to you by Merck Animal Health.
360. Individuals and businesses with tax problems, listen carefully. Do you feel like you're losing control over your finances? If you owe over $10,000 in back taxes or have unfiled tax returns, we can help you take back.
This is Jeff Cruier with my commentary of the day. So President Obama claims that the $400 million paid to the Iranians in cash was no big deal, had no connection at all to the hostages that were released, even though one of the hostages said that they were not allowed to leave until the plane arriving the cash landed at the airport. And we see the cash in foreign currency piled high on wooden pallets being delivered to the Iranians by a weakened administration that was bending over backwards to make this deal. The president defends it to this day, but he won't answer the question of whether the $400 million will be used to support terrorism. And we know Iran is the world's leading sponsor of terror organizations. So of course this $400 million will be used to kill innocent innocent people. So this administration will have blood on their hands. From the folks who gave us the Benghazi debacle, this is sadly nothing new. More info on this and the other hot topics of the day, check out ringsidepolitics.com.
This advertisement does not constitute an offer to sell a franchise. The offer of a franchise can only be made through the delivery of a franchise disclosure document.
Fresh Healthy Vending is a new company that is revolutionizing the vending machine business by filling them with healthy and natural foods. That's right. Protein and energy drinks, teas and juices, yogurts, fresh fruits and veggies, soy milk, natural cereals, granola bars. Can you imagine that? It's like having a whole food store in a machine. And you can get in on the ground floor by getting your own Fresh Healthy Vending franchise. You can have your own small business placing healthy food vending machines all over your area in places like schools and hospitals and businesses and airports and other high traffic areas. Locations that embrace the idea because, they make money too. Full training and support and assistance in acquiring locations. It's all about timing, folks. Pick up the phone, make the call to Fresh Healthy Vending, and get all the details on what could be your big life moment. Get Fresh Healthy Vending franchise information now. Call 800-424-8282. 424-8282. That's 800-424-8282.
Thank you for sticking with us on the battlefield. So, Trey, Reuters reports, check this out. Havana on Sunday blamed Washington for a surge of Cubans trying to reach the United States by land and sea, accusing the Obama administration of encouraging illegal and unsafe immigration.
Gee, imagine that.
Dude, tell me the world is not upside down when the Cubans are trying to get their Cuban people to travel unsafely to the United States.
So think about this. Let's play this out here for a second. You got the Cuban government going, please, our people, stop believing Barack Obama that he wants you to come. I mean, I know he says come and you'll get free stuff, but we're giving you free stuff too. I mean, like, it's just what is this thing we call Earth?
So let me ask you this.
You swear it was flat or something.
So does this mean that we will get like more, let's say, Ted Cruz's or Marco Rubio's in the country?
No, because they're going to come here illegally and then they're going to go into the shadows and they're going to get on a dole and they're going to register as Democrats. And that's why they won't become Ted Cruz or Marco Rubio. Besides, we'd have to have more Canadian immigration if we wanted more Ted Cruz's. Oh!
All right, so check this out. So this kind of like comes out of our communist conversation, right? Because the Cubans, they're such a lovely
socialist utopia.
Yes, beautiful place down there.
Right.
No toilet paper, but hell, you can use banana leaves.
And if you ever need stitches, they got chickens.
That's right. We love the chickens. So the idea that people would be coming here from Cuba and all of a sudden arrive and be conservative and things of that nature would be, I guess, naive to think that, because these people have come from a country, for the most part, if they're of age, older folks, they've lived under communist rule for a long time.
And squalor.
Yeah, and look, they most likely don't like it. But when they get here, they've been programmed to think of things in respect of class warfare.
That's correct.
Right? So
haves and have-nots.
That's right. So when they get here, while they hate the country that they came from and the dictators that they lived under, the culture that they grew up in has conditioned them in a way that when they come here, they'll be more apt to support the rhetoric like what they had in Cuba, because it's familiar, right?
Yep.
So when we talk about people assimilating to our culture, That's what we're talking about. People coming here and saying, you know what, in order for me to become an American, I got to understand why America's different, why America was great or is great, depending on which way you look at it.
Yeah, depending upon what party you're a part of.
Right. So if they come to the United States and they are just given citizenship, amnesty, if you will, and they just come in here, they're not going to have been challenged on what they believe.
No sacrifice made.
That's right.
And even if they float on what is it, 90 miles off the coast of Florida, right? So,
right.
I know it's not, you float on like a peach box or something. I know it sucks, but.
Yeah, it's the socialist utopia of Cuba is so great that people will come over here in a bathtub.
Think about that mindset, bro. You want to get away from your home so bad that floating on a non-designed object to float on, just say a non-boat.
Yeah, in a lot of cases, it's really a big box. It's a big conglomeration of trash.
Right. You will float on garbage and risk death by way of drowning, shark bite. You just risk. What about just being stranded out there?
It's not like you get in and you have a motorboat and you got a full tank of gas and you can make it to the beach.
But it gets better now. Remember, you're leaving your home on that trash,
right,
for the chance to break the law,
right,
and have an opportunity as a criminal in a free country.
And to come to a country that's racist, homophobic, bigoted, whatever.
Right. Like,
think about that.
That oppresses the world.
Yeah. We're such a horrible place that people are dying to get here.
And like we have to implement all kinds of rules and regulations to keep its own citizenry inside the country because so many people are trying to leave the country.
Folks, if you want to talk about this, give us a call, 504-556-9696. We'd like to hear what you think. But, Trey, to me...
That's what's amazing, dude. They still want to come to America.
Yeah, and
or
what's
the United
interesting
States.
is people really struggle trying to explain why America is exceptional. It's not because of Americans per se. It's because of what Americans believe. And I'm talking about true Americans. I'm not talking about the wannabe European people in the country that are in America, that would just love to be like France,
Correct.
Love to be like Italy. Look, Italy's a beautiful place, but if you all of a sudden become a fascist or socialist utopia like Italy, doesn't mean that all of a sudden we're going to have a Leaning Tower of Pizza. We might have the Leaning Tower of Pisa, right? Or pizza.
I am a big fan of a Leaning Tower of Pizza. Big fan.
Yeah.
Especially right now. Today and tomorrow, I'm a big fan of as much pizza.
Splurging?
Ooh, first day 1 and day 2.
All right, so what did you
Gorge days.
What did you eat today?
2 McMuffins this morning and half a container of cottage cheese with blueberries. And then I went to the River Shack.
Wait. Cottage cheese, that's like diet food, dude.
No, it's but I ate a lot of it.
Cottage cheese.
Dude, I love it's large curd too. Love some cottage cheese.
I like taking the cottage cheese when it's really, really cold.
Yes.
Put some blueberries in it. It tastes like ice cream.
I just did. All I had was blueberries. Normally, I put blueberries, blackberries, and raspberries in it.
Ooh, man, you're right up my alley with that.
But for lunch, we went to the River Shack, and we had the Rusty's Special Chicken Sandwich, which is basically like this huge fried chicken breast with blue cheese and all kind of other cheese with fully dressed and French fries, and then these buffalo dipped fried oysters with blue cheese dip. Oh,
where is this? The River Shack?
The River Shack. They
Where
just
is
built
that?
They just opened up a new one on the West Bank, but the old school River Shack is on the River Road, off of Shrewsbury and the River Road on the East Bank by the Huey-P-Long Bridge.
I would be very interested to hear from our audience if they had to pick two things, just two things that they would have to eat so much of it that it to the point of sickness, not to get sick, But to the point of sickness, what would those two things be?
Mm.
So what would you say? What would be your two things?
Two things that like that's just all I could eat all the time.
Yes. Without any consequences.
Without any consequences. Golly. I think it's easy to decide to vote for Hillary or for Trump. So many options to choose from on this
ice cream instead.
Yeah. Okay. Probably one of them would be fudge rounds.
Fudge rounds.
Little Debbie's fudge rounds, bro.
Really?
Dude, I bought
those things taste like trash.
Dog, I bought a box of the giant size Little Debbie fudge rounds with the full intention of crushing them in 2 days. I have the utmost worst intentions for that box.
It's almost violent.
Yeah. Little Debbie.
So that's number one. What's number two?
Number two, what if I eat? I eat it all the time. Probably like a good steak.
Good steak.
Like porterhouse. If I just porterhouse all the time.
So what restaurant would that be?
There's a Lebanese steakhouse up in Tulsa that has a 72-ounce porterhouse.
I like Lebanese.
And
just saying,
they make great oil.
It wouldn't happen to be like
no, it wouldn't. All right, 20 seconds. Here we go. 504-556-9696. This is the Battlefield Live with Chris and Trey on WGSO 990 AM.
Did you ever think that the presumptive Republican nominee for President of the United States would have similar policy and, suggestions as the Democratic Socialist candidate?
I never thought that a Republican candidate for president would hold both liberal and conservative policies at the same time.
Right.
I mean, this is totally fascinating. Visit the website battlefield.buzz for the latest from Chris and Trey from the Battlefield Live radio show.
Experience Augie's, formerly Augie's Glass Garden, now in Harahan. Augie's, truly a gorgeous place. Where can you go to experience super jumbo soft-shell crabs for only $14.95 and the area's largest seafood platters? Private parties, receptions, reunions, and events of all types can be handled at Augie's. 6005 Jefferson Highway in Harahan. Call for reservations 733-3000. Check us out on the web, augiesnola.com. Join us at Playmakers Indoor South every summer and holiday for our multi-sport camps. $25 a day, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. with before care from 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. and after care from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. available for $5. Soccer, flag football, basketball, wiffle ball, relay games, lacrosse, and much, much more. Plenty of spots available. Contact Playmakers Indoor Sports, 6124 Jefferson Highway in Harahan, or call 504-305-6078 or sign up today at playmakersindoor.com.
Are you looking for a reasonable and affordable way to enhance your image or your company's image on the internet? Are you looking for ways to leverage internet technology to streamline your business? An upgraded website or web application is the way to go. Vast Virtual Solutions is a technology company that specializes in developing websites that operate on the cutting edge with the ability to save you and your business time and money. Visit vastvirtual.com for a business quote today. vastvirtual.com.
Millions of people are asking the question, what has happened to America? Is there hope? What will our children and grandchildren face in years to come? America, there is hope. The same hope expressed by the colonists in 1607 when they placed a cross on the Virginia shore, proclaiming, "In God we trust." In God we trust. It's still our hope. It's our future. It's our national motto. Go to InGodWeTrust.com and get your hope today.
You're listening to the Battlefield Live radio program with Chris and Trey from Lanterns Radio Network and the Battlefield Live radio program. And we're here to fix a machine. We're in the GoDay Media WGSO 990 AM studios in New Orleans and having a blast, as we always do, every night from 9 to 11 Central Standard Time. And if you are looking for any of our show times or podcasts, you can check us out on radio.battlefield.buzz. We are on numerous networks, including Red Nation Rising, Red State Talk Radio, ICRN Radio, and most importantly, Lanterns Radio Network. Trey and I started that network, and it is actually starting to really take off. Really proud of what we put together with Andrew Chavarria and others. And this thing is really doing well. So also you can check us out on Spreaker, SoundCloud, YouTube, iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, and Player.fm. You can find our podcast there. So if you can't be tuned in to WGSO by chance, you can catch our WGSO podcast on any of those affiliates. So Spreaker.com is my favorite. They got a pretty cool app, and it'll remind you when we go live. So check that out. Also, make sure you go to lanterns.buzz, the website lanterns.buzz, and you can actually get our newsletter. Just go there and just do a quick sign up. We're looking for people to help fix a machine. And if you do that, you'll get our weekly newsletter. It's very simple. Got a lot of great stuff in there, including not only our podcast, but others. So, Trey, I wanted to we were talking about Lebanese earlier. So I figured that'd be a good segue to get into Hillary Clinton.
Right, of course.
Yes. So did you see, like, they were trying to help her get up on the steps?
Okay. So I did, but that's an old picture, and it was done during the winter. She had slipped on a step before.
Right.
But I don't know if it's the same picture or if it's a newer picture, but and nobody wants to play the video. There's got to be video of that, right?
Yeah.
Because it looks
like
horrible.
One of your many train wrecks.
I mean, it looks
wrecks.
Right. Because they got video. Drudge posted video of the one where she fell into the plane, and
so this is out of Breitbart, and folks, we'll post this on our
Trumpart.
archives.
Love Trumpart.
Trumpart, yeah. We'll post this in our archives on lanterns.buzz if you want to, there's probably 30 articles that we'll talk about tonight. You won't even realize we're talking about this. We have to get our information from somewhere. So this particular article says Hillary Clinton needed to be physically helped. This is from August 7th, 2016. That's yesterday, right? Am I in the right year?
2016 carried a 3 divided by... Yes.
Okay, so Hillary Clinton needed to be physically helped up a moderate flight of stairs by her team or staffers, handlers, according to campaign trail photos that made the rounds on the internet. Reuters and Getty photographs captured Hillary Clinton, 68 years old, struggling to make it up a set of stairs, either as a result of her fragile body or perhaps because her well-documented brain injuries. I mean, progressivism is a brain injury. Make it hard for her to transport herself through daily life activities. The photo gained wide circulation on the internet Sunday. So this is a photo of something recent, appears.
All right, so let me ask you a question.
Okay.
Why are we doing this right now?
Why are we doing what?
Why are we... Hillary's a almost 70-year-old lady.
Okay.
I've never seen Hillary do anything athletic. Like, I've never seen her in mom jeans riding a bike like Barack. I've never seen her skiing,
So what you're saying is that I'm expecting Hillary to jump up and down on the stairs like she's some kind of
like she's an American Ninja Warrior. No.
And I'm doing some kind of like
no.
Are you saying that I'm being biased here about her health?
No, what I'm saying is that, like, the right-wing media apparatus, Trumpart and Drudge primarily, have resorted to this Alinsky-style tactic that I don't think is necessary. Like, Hillary there's so much that we can shred apart about Hillary that makes her unfit for the presidency, that helping an old lady up a flight of stairs...
Dude, this was a simple flight of stairs. Look, there's more to this than just her climbing up a set of steps.
There might be. You're right. I know. I saw the seizure photos or video the other day that was, like, really weird. I know we all know about her glasses during the Benghazi hearing that are only worn for people who, like, are coming off of concussions or something.
You're starting to sound like Liberal Dan.
Why? What did he say?
Because to me, these are major issues. Look, there's a lot of things floating around, and it's really hard to disseminate what's going on. Obviously, we're in election season. There's a lot of people, trying to stir up a bunch of mud with politics, right?
Right.
But if she becomes the president of the United States and she's got all these major health issues, we could have the vice president, which we don't even talk about. This guy, Kane.
Oh, yeah, from the WWE. He wears a mask and he comes out.
Pretty much, right?
Right.
So if you just look at Hillary's behavior, all the things that are swirling around, there's a video I just posted on Twitter from, do you know, what's this guy's name? Let's see.
While you're looking for the name, think about it. Hillary, Huma said in some of the emails that were disclosed, Huma Abedin, also known as Humma Wiener.
Easy there.
No. I mean, her name is Humma, and she's married to Anthony Weiner.
Huma.
So she's Mrs. Humma Wiener.
It's Huma.
I'm sorry,
Wiener.
Mrs. Huma Wiener.
Yeah.
Mrs. Huma Abedina Wiener. Anyway,
Wait, say that again?
Mrs. Huma Abedina Wiener. So my whole point is that she's in an email, she wrote to somebody and said, look, when you see the secretary, you may have to tell her often who the people are as you're introduced.
I will tell her often a lot.
Because she gets confused easily.
Yeah, because she's a progressive. They're dumb.
No. When you're like, this is Momar Madap, and this is Hasha Singhata, it could get a little confusing. But I really think that Hillary has more of this basic comprehension issue. Listen, Hillary's no different than any other 70-year-old who's you give them a VCR, and nowadays it would be like giving them an iPad and for the first time, what is this?
So, all right. So we're talking about the Lebanese. Now I'm going to talk about how she let the cat out the bag. So she said that we're going to raise taxes on the middle class. You saw that?
I did.
All right.
Wait. So
is that a double entendre?
No, I don't think. But you think she's really got health issues?
I think she's got serious health issues, dude. There's a video, and look, I'm not into a whole black helicopter thing, right?
Who's more mentally fit?
There's a video of a guy, one of her security agents, that is walking. He's got something in his hand,
right?
All right, and you can zoom in on this. They got the picture zoomed in, and it looks like diazepam, like an injector, diazepam injector. You know what that is?
No, what is diazepam for?
It's it stops seizures, right?
So it's an anti-seizure drug?
It's an anti-seizure drug. And so the security agent's walking with her. And look,
wait, now how do we know it's diazepam? I mean, is it a...
Well, because they showed the pictures of the diazepam...
injector?
And it may not be. It could be like a freaking asthma thing for the guy or whatever. But he's holding it really good.
Maybe a breathalyzer, like the president said people got when they have asthma.
She probably needs a breathalyzer. She was walking with Bill at the time. So maybe it was I don't know, condoms or something. Dude, he looks bad too. You seen him?
Him?
Yeah.
Oh, Bill.
Dude, he's like the Walking Dead.
He is. He's like Skeletor.
You know who Paul Joseph Watson is?
Paul Joseph Watson. No, I don't.
Sounds familiar?
Kind of does.
Okay, he's on your favorite network, the InfoWars network.
Oh, okay.
Okay, but this guy.
With the globalists.
Yeah, but this guy's actually pretty good. We'll talk about the video he's got. It's one I posted on Twitter at Lantern's Buzz. So check it out. And when we come back from after the bottom of the hour here, we'll get into a little bit more of that. And we also got to get into some of this emails. Trey, I'm going to unveil some stuff here I think you're going to be pretty excited about on the emails that I've been digging around on. So check with us on the battlefield. We'll be right back after the short break. You're listening to Chris and Trey from WGSO 990 AM, the Battlefield Live radio program.
Hey, Hey, New Orleans, this is Sue May with the Cannon Hospice Health Hour. Join us to get the latest and most up-to-date health information here on WGSO.
Saturdays at 12 noon. What are you doing to stop traffic? When your business is ready to wow the pants off customers, visit Sir Speedy. We produce quality signs, posters, banners, and more that are just a trick for trade shows, promotions, events, and product launches. Whether you're taking it to the street, the floor, or the counter, bigger is always better. For more information or to get a quote, go to SirSpeedyNewOrleans.com.
This advertisement does not constitute an offer to sell a franchise. The offer of a franchise can only be made through the delivery of a franchise disclosure document.
Fresh Healthy Vending is a new company that is revolutionizing the vending machine business by filling them with healthy and natural foods. That's right. Protein and energy drinks, teas and juices, yogurts, fresh fruits and veggies, soy milk, natural cereals, granola bars. Can you imagine that? It's like having a whole food store in a machine. And you can get in on the ground floor by getting your own Fresh Healthy Vending franchise. You can have your own small business placing healthy food vending machines all over your area in places like schools and hospitals and businesses and airports and other high traffic areas. Locations that embrace the idea because, you know, they make money too. Full training and support and assistance in acquiring locations. It's all about timing, folks. Pick up the phone, make the call to Fresh Healthy Vending, and get all the details on what could be your big life moment. Get Fresh Healthy Vending franchise information now. Call 800-424-8282. 424-8282. That's 800-424-8282.
Hello, this is David Jeremiah. Join me each weekday morning at 5:30 or 6:30 for Turning Point here on Talk Radio 990 AM.
This is William Wallace. Join me Tuesday nights at 7 p.m. here on WGSO 990 AM for my town hall. Hear what I have to say and let your voice be heard.
Your station for prep sports year-round. We are WGSO 990 AM New Orleans.
USA Radio News with Chris Barnes.
I will say the Bernie Sanders people had far more energy and spirit.
That's GOP nominee Donald Trump speaking in Detroit after protesters interrupt his speech in which he outlines economic policy.
My campaign is about reaching out to everyone as Americans and returning to a government that puts the American people first.
But while Trump talks the economy, a group of 50 Republican national security experts is voicing opposition to Trump in an open letter that says from a foreign policy perspective, Trump is not qualified to be president. Meanwhile, more bad news for Trump in a poll
showing Hillary Clinton leading Donald Trump by double digits following last month's Republican and Democratic conventions. The Monmouth University poll shows Clinton at 46% and Trump at 34% support.
That's Evan Heidenrich reporting. This is USA Radio News.
Hello, it's Angie from Daybreak USA, and I have fabulous hair. I do now. It used to break off when I brushed it. It fell right on the floor. But I have a solution for you if you have the same problem. Cell Therapy by Ovation, a unique breakthrough treatment found in no other hair care line. Here's how it works. Cell Therapy Breakthrough Formula. It nourishes the hair and scalp for hair that is noticeably thicker, stronger, longer, and healthier looking. It really is. Here's the deal. I used to have split ends and it was dry and brittle, and it's finally gotten long and thick. It really does work. They offer a 365-day money-back guarantee, a statement of confidence, again, found with no other hair care product. Seriously. So go online now to get your special introductory discount when you select Angie Austin Daybreak USA at checkout. Great hair, one click away at ovationhair.com. And remember, click on Angie Austin Daybreak USA for the introductory discount. Ovationhair.com, ovationhair.com.
Delta Airlines CEO saying he is sorry after a power outage leads to hundreds of canceled Delta flights and worldwide delays.
I apologize for the challenges this has created for you with your travel experience.
That's Delta CEO Ed Bastian speaking in a video posted online.
Delta team is working very, very hard to restore and get these systems back as quickly as possible.
The outage corrected, but the delays and cancellations could continue for another couple of days.
These brutal, insensitive
senseless attacks only deepen our shared resolve to defeat terrorism.
At the State Department, a spokeswoman condemning a hospital bombing in Pakistan that's left at least 70 dead.
These terrorists targeted a hospital, the judiciary, and the media, the most important pillars of democracy.
State Department spokesperson Elizabeth Trudeau, the Pakistani Taliban, claiming responsibility for the attack in Quetta, which left over 120 people injured as well. This is USA Radio News.
What's at stake at this election? A lot. From the freedom to publicly practice and proclaim your faith to the nomination of Supreme Court justices, matters of critical importance to Christians are looming in the days ahead. That's why we invite you to join us on September 9th through 11th in Washington, D.C. for the Values Voters Summit. Come to learn, be encouraged, and meet others who will stand for the renewal of this great nation. Visit valuesvotersummit.org for more information.
Chicago's Democratic Mayor Rahm Emanuel says he stands behind the way the city's top cop has been handling the most recent police shooting of an unarmed African-American man.
The mayor says the July 28th death of 18-year-old Paul O'Neill was a tragedy, and he said the decision by Superintendent Eddie Johnson to relieve the 3 officers involved of their police powers was the right one. Beyond that,
I'm reserving any judgment while it's in the middle of the investigation because there's a lot of questions, and I probably want to echo what the superintendent says. There are more questions at this time than there are answers.
Emanuel also said he supported the release of police video connected to the shooting of O'Neill, a car theft suspect who was wounded in the back as he ran from police. David Stewart, Chicago.
British tourism receiving a major boost from the weakening of the pound ever since Britain's vote to leave the European Union. New figures show flight bookings to the UK have spiked, especially from Asia and the US.
There were 4.3% more flights to the UK booked than in the same period a year earlier. Bookings from Hong Kong rose over 30%, and from the US the figure was 9.2%, according to travel researcher Forward Keys. British Airways says the number of US customers searching for flights to the UK spiked in the days after the referendum. Hotels.com says UK hotel searches by Americans jumped 50% year on year since the vote. Ollie Barrett, London.
Wall Street starts the week lower, with the Dow losing 14 and the Nasdaq losing 8. For USA Radio News, I'm Chris Barnes.
We're here to fix the machine.
Battlefield Live. You're listening to the Battlefield Live with Chris and Trey from Lanterns Radio Network, the Battlefield Live radio program, WGSO 990 AM. If you want to give us a call, feel free to call us, 504-556-9696. And we're discussing a whole lot of topics, including what's going on with Hillary Clinton and her health. And we're going to figure we could jump right into some of these polls before we complete that conversation about our new Lebanese possible first Lebanese president?
Quite possibly by Lebanese.
By Lebanese would be
Bilibanese.
Bilibanese. Okay. So
she's Bilibino.
I don't know what that means, but we'll go with that. So, all right. So check this out. Real Clear Politics.
I'm there.
They're like the polling place to go, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I guess that between that and Nate Silver's was it 584? Yeah, spell it out.
He's kind of overrated though.
Really?
Yeah.
He was the only one who got it absolutely 100% correct in the last election. That's why he kind of has credibility.
Well, I kind of watched Real Clear Politics all throughout this election and last election, at least this election, the primaries. And they've been pretty dead on. And right now,
they're good because they average out the polls.
Yeah.
And Clinton right now has got a 7.2 point lead.
Right. So, folks, if you haven't been to realclearpolitics.com, basically what they do is they look over all the polls and they add up all the points and so forth, and they do an average. And if you look at Hillary right now, she has pretty much been beating Trump ever since the poll started. And there was only one little brief moment this past month where, let's see, around about, I don't know if it's even that important, around the 25th of July or 26th of July, where Trump was beating her, and since then he has just taken a dump.
Wasn't he the only, like when there was still, let's see, it started with 17. I think when it was like still 10 Republicans left in the race, he was the only one who polled nationally and lost to Hillary Clinton. Like every other Republican polled when they started polling head to head against Hillary. He was the only one who was, and it really hadn't turned. I think he got a little bit of a turnaround.
Yeah,
after the Republican convention.
This poll, for the that goes all the way back into over a year ago, shows exactly what you're talking about. So let's explore that just a second here.
All right.
So if you are a diehard, die in the womb.
Oh yeah, if you're a Hillary, that's right. You're a dyed in the womb supporter.
Yeah.
That's very good.
Yeah. So, which probably done a world a whole big favor you did. But anyway.
Yeah, I mean, she's a big fan of Planned Parenthood.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, bro.
I like that.
I asked somebody the other day. I said, "How can we figure out? What's the word we can use that is like a dog whistle for all black people to connect?" Because you pointed out the other day to Benjamin Watson article, right?
Yes.
And so, what's the dog whistle? And I thought, there it is. If you go around a bunch of black people and just say Klan, you about to get whooped, right?
Right.
Well, just stop calling it Planned Parenthood, and since they said Margaret Sanger wanted to kill Negroes, just call it Klan Parenthood, and don't ever apologize. Be like, yeah, that's what I said, Planned Parenthood.
So one of the things that you've been looking at these polls, there's always people that say, "Hey, these polls are not right."
Correct.
Right. They always say, this is not being represented. There's a whole bunch of people that are not in this poll. They beat them to death until that person's winning in the polls, and they say, "Oh, look at the polls."
Right.
Right. So there's an article that, and I'll post it on our Facebook. I'm sorry, I'll post it on our lanterns.buzz page. You can go to the archives. Where a guy actually went and looked at all of the social media between Clinton and Trump. I thought it would be interesting to just go over these real quick.
All right.
So Trump has on Facebook, he's got 10 million likes on Facebook.
Followers. Oh, on Facebook. On Facebook. Okay.
It's likes on Facebook, right? Clinton has 5.3 million.
Okay,
right?
so clearly people, nothing.
Twice as much.
Right.
Okay. And we'll talk about what this really means after, but because I don't think it's as important as
right.
people look at, right? So Trump live stream posts. In other words, when he's posting a video, 21 hours ago, he had 135,000 likes, 18,000 shares, and 1.5 million views, right? Mm-hmm. Clinton's live stream post, which you got to take looks into factor here. Not that either one of them is very good looking. 25 hours ago, she had 11,000 likes, 0 shares, and 321,000 views.
0 shares?
0 shares.
Are you dropping coins over there?
Yeah, actually, I dropped my ring.
Oh, go ahead.
Sorry about that. Dead air. I had to go grab my stuff. So since Clinton had 0 shares, here's the next best original post that the guy could find on Clinton. It was Clinton's post 30 hours ago, 22,000 likes, 7,241 shares. That's still like half of what Trump did as far as how many shares.
Right.
And that's really where everything is driven, shares. And it's only, instead of 1.5 like Trump had, 1.5 million, she only had 773,000 views.
What's the correlation with these two?
What you mean is, what is this saying?
Yeah, obviously Trump uses social media more effectively, right?
Yeah, so let's keep going here. It's just a couple more things here. Trump has got 10.6 million followers on Twitter. Why? Hillary's only got 8.1 million. Trump averages 30,000 live viewers per stream. Clinton averages 500. So Trump has a 5,900% more live viewers than Clinton. So the point is that Trump has got a lot of people following him. Now, what does that say? How many of those are trolls or fake, accounts? And both sides, right?
Yeah, I would imagine 50%. 50% are probably not. Actually, you know what?
What?
We've got a tool that will tell us
how many eggs.
No, how many of their followers have tweeted like in the past 6 months?
Okay, yeah. So check that out while you're doing that. I'm gonna go a little further with this. So the big question is how relevant is this, right? Because obviously Trump has hit social media by storm. I mean, he's on Twitter all the time. Everybody goes to his tweets, follows his tweets. A lot of those people don't like Trump. They follow him because they want to see what the next best thing he's going to say so they can bash him in the media.
Right.
So one of the big things that people are saying, and there's actually some legitimate pollsters out there that are saying that there's this whole demographic of the disenfranchised Americans out there that are actually supporting Trump and have never voted before. So the big question is what is that number? Like, how many people out there? Is there enough people out there like that have never voted before, that have never been involved politically, that are going to do it this time because they're just sick and tired of the establishment, right? The so-called establishment. So with that said, at the same time that he's not the establishment, quote unquote, at least that's what the claim is. At the same time, he's just endorsed the leader of the Republican Party, Paul Ryan. He's also endorsed John McCain, of all people. And he's endorsed Kelly Ayotte. Right? I mean, these are establishment people. This is not like some type of conservative brain trust. Anyway, so we're going to do this. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back from this break, we'll get into a little more. And I'm interested to hear what Trey's got to say after doing a little research on Twitter about Trump's followers. So stick with us on the battlefield. We'll be right back after this short break.
Did you ever think that the presumptive Republican nominee for President of the United States would have similar policy and, suggestions as the Democratic Socialist candidate?
I never thought that a Republican candidate for president would hold both liberal and conservative policies at the same time.
Right.
I mean, this is totally fascinating. Visit the website battlefield.buzz for the latest from Chris and Trey from the Battlefield Live radio show.
Millions of people are asking the question, what has happened to America? Is there hope? What will our children and grandchildren face in years to come? America, there is hope. The same hope expressed by the colonists in 1607 when they placed a cross on the Virginia shore, proclaiming, "In God we trust." In God we trust. It's still our hope. It's our future. It's our national motto. Go to InGodWeTrust.com and get your hope today.
Experience Augie's, formerly Augie's Glass Garden, now in Harahan. Augie's, truly a gorgeous place. Where can you go to experience super jumbo soft-shell crabs for only $14.95 and the area's largest seafood platters? Private parties, receptions, reunions, and events of all types can be handled at Augie's. 6005 Jefferson Highway in Harahan. Call for reservations 733-3000. Check us out on the web, augiesnola.com. Playmakers Indoor Sports is a state-of-the-art indoor turf facility offering leagues, drop-in play, field rental, parties, camps, clinics, and a whole bunch more. Play includes adult and youth in soccer, lacrosse, flag football, and more. For more information, go to www.playmakersindoor.com. Like us on Facebook at Playmakers Indoors South. 6124 Jefferson Highway, Harahan, Louisiana, 504-305-6078.
Are you looking for a reasonable and affordable way to enhance your image or your company's image on the internet? Are you looking for ways to leverage internet technology to streamline your business? An upgraded website or web application is the way to go. Vast Virtual Solutions is a technology company that specializes in developing websites that operate on the cutting edge with the ability to save you and your business time and money. Visit vastvirtual.com for a business quote today. vastvirtual.com.
You've stepped onto the battlefield with Chris and Trey from the Lanterns Radio Network and WGSO 990 AM and GoDay Media Studios. Look, folks, if you haven't yet, make sure you do go to Spreaker.com and follow us on Spreaker. We have all our podcasts there, as well as all the other Lanterns Radio Network podcasts. And I tell you what, Trey, for a long time, all I did was listen to the top of the ledger, I guess, or the top of the list of the talk show hosts out there, the Levins and the Rush Limbaughs and the
Rock Worldwide show.
Yeah, the Rock World and Battlefield Live, those guys, Chris and Trey, I tell you what. Savage, those guys, I've always listened to them and it's refreshing to hear them and the perspective because it's fairly unique. But then when I got into radio with you, I really started to appreciate some of the fresher, the grassroots voices out there, right? And there's a lot of places that you can go. And look, we're not selfish with this. At the end of the day, we're trying to help fix the country. We're here to fix the machine, right? Red Nation Rising Radio Network is a great place to go. Red State Talk Radio, ICRN, and of course, Lanterns Radio Network. And if you go to Spreaker, SoundCloud, iTunes, you can catch all of these shows. And look, just give them a shot. Listen to them. And if you like them, these are people that you can reach out to and talk to. You can call us at 504-556-9696 to talk to us, or reach to us on Twitter at Lanterns Buzz or Facebook at facebook.com/Lanterns Buzz. But all the people in Lanterns Radio Network, you may listen to some of these shows and be like, this is the best thing I've ever heard. And you could reach out to people like Andrew Chavarria, Julio Rivera, Mike Miller, Paris Prokopis, Gene Baradelli, others. Reach out to these people and you can talk to them on Facebook. Try to reach out to Glenn Beck and see how hard it is to reach Glenn Beck or Rush Limbaugh. Good people, but I mean they got millions of followers. So get with these guys on the ground floor, and you can also reach out to us, and we will do our best not to get you offended. Right, Trey?
That's right.
So that's one of the things that we try so hard to do is not offend anybody.
And so here's what we have found out during the break. Couple of things. We had some people listening to the program tweet in some information.
Cool. Love our listeners.
Apparently, someone was watching Hannity, and supposedly Hannity had a doctor on to talk about the fact that
he was hypnotized by Trump.
Hillary has hypothyroidism. And that someone in her entourage is always carrying a seizure pen filled with diazepam.
No kidding.
That's absolutely correct.
I didn't get it from anybody like that. So that just legitimizes my claim.
That's right. So that was appreciate that listener there.
Who was that, by the way? Somebody we should mention.
That would be Joe Ellen.
Thanks, Joe Ellen.
And let's see here. Twitter. Trump has 10.761 Twitter followers, or 10,761,511 followers, of which 62.5% have either never tweeted or the last time they tweeted was over 6 months ago.
Wow. So 62% have never tweeted?
62%. So that means of his 10,700,000 followers, I just had the number. Here we go. 6,725,944 of those followers are just following him in name only.
All right. So 6 million. Give me that number again. 6 million.
6.7 million.
So 6.7 million
out of the 10.7 million total followers.
Out of 10 point, how many million?
10.7.
10.7 million of at real Donald Trump
So that's 62.5%
followers
are
never tweeted,
or have never tweeted, or at best have not tweeted in the last 6 months.
Wow.
Now, I didn't even check Hillary yet.
Dude, look that up.
All right.
That ought to be interesting. Folks, this just goes to show you how when they say polls are wrong and all, look, they've been polling for how many years? As long as since the beginning of time. Social media has been around that long, and people have figured out a way to make things look differently than what they really are, right?
All right, so she's got 8.21 million. Okay. Let's go to her.
So, folks, if you're interested in having this type of ability to do this type of research, as well as able to expand your followers, you can actually reach out to GoDay.media. The what we're using right now is a tool that was pointed to us by GoDay.media, Rob Goday and Melissa. And, man, I tell you what, there's a powerful information. And in Lanterns Radio Network, one of the things that we're doing on Lanterns Radio is we're trying to empower people to know the truth. I mean, that's basically, we're here to fix a machine, but we're illuminating the truth. All of this stuff of, personalities and getting hung up on Trump or Cruz or whoever, that's not going to solve the problem. And it saddens me to see so many great people, patriots out there, that don't understand the basic fundamentals of the country, that get attached to personality, that fight endlessly and blindly for people like Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton, and don't see the basics of why these people are so flawed and so dangerous to run this country. So,
all right, so hers are 62%. So she's got a little bit less. She actually has just straight percentage wise, she actually has a greater percentage of followers, but only by 0.5%. But when you take into consideration that 8,209,490 times 2, so of her 8.2 million followers, 5 million are never tweeted, or 6 months are tweeted is their last tweet. So basically, they're inactive.
All right, so just run those numbers by me.
So she's got 3 million
on Twitter, folks. If you want to go to retweet this out, or you want to go do some more research on yourself.
So she's got 3 million Twitter followers of her 8.2 million who have tweeted at all or in the last 6 months.
So 3 million of 8.2.
Correct. And Trump has 4 million. So he's basically got 1 million more than she does.
So what do you think about that?
I think it's pretty. Well, look, for Twitter, only because we've been using this tool that I get it now, right? Because we will follow a bunch of people, they'll follow us, and then we unfollow a bunch of people, and all of a sudden the numbers don't move at all, and it doesn't seem like we're gaining anything. So what happens is I think a lot of people go out there, they create a bunch of fake accounts because it doesn't cost anything to start up an email address, and you can have unlimited numbers of email addresses. And I see a lot of business out there where they sell blocks of followers, because the good thing about social media is social media makes you look like you're somebody.
Right.
But the bad thing about social media is social media makes you look like you're somebody.
Right.
So today, the impression, it's no longer, you can have all kind of degrees, you can have all kind of education, and it doesn't really mean as much as if somebody goes on Twitter and sees that you have a huge number of Twitter followers. They find you to be more credible because you have Twitter followers, not because of the education that you have behind your name.
Right.
That's just kind of where we are now as a society. Achievement doesn't seem to mean as much as fame. It's kind of what Breitbart said.
So it's a facade.
This is why we have the 25-year wife of a public official and a reality star as the choices for president of the United States.
So think about it like this. If you have a Facebook page, you don't post everything about yourself for the most part. People post things that they want other people to see. So they create this facade. And in some cases, I would imagine it's somewhat addictive because people want to get validated by what they post on social media.
Well, let's tackle that a little bit more when we come back from the break. 504-556-9696. This is the Battlefield Live with Chris and Trey on WGSO 990 AM.
Did you ever think that the presumptive Republican nominee for president of the United States would have similar policy and, suggestions as the Democratic Socialist candidate?
I never thought that a Republican candidate for president would hold both liberal and conservative policies at the same time.
Right.
I mean,
like
this is totally
gyroscope.
fascinating. Visit the website battlefield.buzz for the latest from Chris and Trey from the Battlefield Live radio show.
Are you looking for a reasonable and affordable way to enhance your image or your company's image on the internet? Are you looking for ways to leverage internet technology to streamline your business? An upgraded website or web application is the way to go. Vast Virtual Solutions is a technology company that specializes in developing websites that operate on the cutting edge with the ability to save you and your business time and money. Visit vastvirtual.com for a business quote today. vastvirtual.com.
Millions of people are asking the question, what has happened to America? Is there hope? What will our children and grandchildren face in years to come? America, there is hope. The same hope expressed by the colonists in 1607 when they placed a cross on the Virginia shore, proclaiming, "In God we trust." In God we trust. It's still our hope. It's our future. It's our national motto. Go to InGodWeTrust.com and get your hope today.
Experience Augie's, formerly Augie's Glass Garden, now in Harahan. Augie's, truly a gorgeous place. Where can you go to experience super jumbo soft-shell crabs for only $14.95 and the area's largest seafood platters? Private parties, receptions, reunions, and events of all types can be handled at Augie's. 6005 Jefferson Highway in Harahan. Call for reservations 733-3000. Check us out on the web, augiesnola.com.
USA Radio News with Chris Barnes.
I will say the Bernie Sanders people had far more energy and spirit.
That's GOP nominee Donald Trump speaking in Detroit after protesters interrupt his speech in which he outlines economic policy.
My campaign is about reaching out to everyone as Americans and returning to a government that puts the American people first.
But while Trump talks the economy, a group of 50 Republican national security experts is voicing opposition to Trump in an open letter that says from a foreign policy perspective, Trump is not qualified to be president. Meanwhile, more bad news for Trump in a poll
showing Hillary Clinton leading Donald Trump by double digits following last month's Republican and Democratic conventions. The Monmouth University poll shows Clinton at 46% and Trump at 34% support.
That's Evan Heidenrich reporting. This is USA Radio News.
I'm Sean Hare, the site director at ConservativeTribune.com. Conservative Tribune is one of the most visited news sites in the world, and the reason is simple. ConservativeTribune.com delivers edgy and bold commentary of the news every day. We are unapologetically pro-America, unabashedly conservative. At ConservativeTribune.com, we don't make apologies for who we are or what we say. If you're looking for more than boring stories and simple thought, visit ConservativeTribune.com. That's ConservativeTribune.com.
The Storks are bringing me a baby brother! We can do this together!
All right, let's go! Storks know how to keep kids safe. Do you?
What? Oh my gosh, you don't know!
I know!
You don't! Oh man, you laugh when you're uncomfortable.
No! Making sure your child is in the right car seat is one of the steps to safer travel.
I will rock this!
You will rock this! To know for sure that your child is in the right car seat for their age and size, visit safercar.gov/the-right seat. Cool. Very cool. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
This is Jeff Cruier with my commentary of the day. So President Obama claims that the $400 million paid to the Iranians in cash was no big deal, had no connection at all to the hostages that were released, even though one of the hostages said that they were not allowed to leave until the plane arriving the cash landed at the airport. And we see the cash in foreign currency piled high on wooden pallets being delivered to the Iranians by a weakened administration that was bending over backwards to make this deal. The president defends it to this day, but he won't answer the question of whether the $400 million will be used to support terrorism. And we know Iran is the world's leading sponsor of terror organizations. So, of course, this $400 million will be used to kill innocent people. So this administration will have blood on their hands. From the folks who gave us the Benghazi debacle, this is sadly nothing new. More info on this and the other hot topics of the day, check out ringsidepolitics.com.
Did you ever think that the presumptive Republican nominee for President of the United States would have similar policy and, suggestions as the Democratic Socialist candidate?
I never thought that a Republican candidate for president would hold both liberal and conservative policies at the same time.
Right.
I mean,
like
this is totally fascinating. Visit the website battlefield.buzz for the latest from Chris and Trey from the Battlefield Live radio show.
Playmakers Indoor Sports offers youth and adult leagues for soccer and flag football, NFL youth flag football, and youth developmental programs. Playmakers Tots program is a youth development program for children ages 18 months to 7 years. Playmakers Tots uses sports like soccer, football, baseball, and basketball to help kids work on motor development, learn to work together, follow directions, and improve listening skills while learning that activity is fun. To register for classes, go to our registration page at playmakersindoor.com or call 504-305-6078. Playmakersindoor.com. 6124 Jefferson Highway in Harahan.
Thank you for sticking with us on the battlefield. This is Chris and Trey. We're here to fix a machine. So, Trey, I got a question for you.
All right.
Have you ever heard of Louis M. Selim before?
Oh, yeah. Louis, he was that guy for that thing that was a while back that we had brought up and talked about.
I always do this to you, know that, huh?
Yeah.
That
doesn't even sound familiar at all, except maybe if he's like a dude who changes out the towels in the bathroom at the office that I work at or something.
All right. So how about, let's see, where's the other one, the other person I wanted to ask you about? See if you had heard of. Doggone it. Where is her name? How about Diana Ortiz?
Oh, yeah. Diana Ortiz. She's that other chick that we
All right, so check this out. I'm going to build this up here. So Diana Ortiz wrote a book. The name of her book is The Blindfolded Eyes, or The Blind Folds Eyes. In this book, basically, first of all, she was a nun. Okay, I don't know if she's still a nun, but she was a nun.
Aren't nuns like Marines? Like once you're a nun, you're never like a former nun.
I guess. I mean, it becomes a habit, I guess.
Oh,
did it? I don't know. It was sad, folks. So apparently she was horribly raped and tortured in Guatemala back in like 1989.
That's wonderful. I'm glad you just like cracked a habit joke right before you uttered the sentence. She was raped. It
was way back in 1989. Is it too soon?
Oh, is it too soon? Oh my God! I apologize to everybody listening right now.
All right, so in all seriousness, we try to joke, and maybe that was a
little levity, a little levity.
Okay.
It's a tough subject.
Tough subject. So she's got this terrible story that she had to tell, right? And one of the people that were involved in, and I guess I don't want to say maybe a cover-up, an alleged cover-up is probably the best way to say it, because apparently these guys got a little Sioux crazy, is this guy, Louis and Selim. Okay? And we got posted, this is a Washington Post article. I'm not going to read the whole article, but basically, Washington Post claims that this is the nun that knew too much. It was an article written by Frank Smith back in 1996. And so why is all of this relevant? Okay, so basically, this senior state official, okay, Louis M. Salem, was supposedly covering up a lot of stuff, and he was in the State Department through Bush and rolled right into Barack Obama, okay, under Hillary Clinton. All right. Well, in the WikiLeaks thing that came out, his name was mentioned in the WikiLeaks. And as I was doing some research, I came across some very interesting, I guess you could say, commentary from Mr. Louis M. Salem. I guess that's how you pronounce his name. And so I want to read this real quick email from WikiLeaks. This is actually behind the scenes, if you will, folks, WikiLeaks email. And it was from Mr. M. Salem to the Task Force Honduras, Maria Otero, back in August 29th, 2009. Okay? And this is the email. It says, Beale called a little after 1:30 p.m. to say the meeting with the de facto envoys have been abruptly canceled, but for perhaps a positive reason. Micheletti has asked about half of the team to return to whatever this name of this place is. I can't even pronounce it. In a phone call he got from the de facto envoys as they headed for the airport, Beale said he detected a positive attitude. The envoys seemed confident, blah, blah, blah. Just kind of scroll down here. It says, Arias said the U.S. had played the game exactly right with the appropriate mix of carrots, sticks, toughness, unified message, even-handedness, and above all, good timing. Arias said the Europeans had been calling him. Almost done, folks. Over the past 2 days, and have fallen into the line with the U.S., the Swedes, and the head of the EU, blah, 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 blah. So this is unclassified U.S. Department of State, case number F whatever, blah, blah, blah. And last thing he says here, with fingers crossed, the old rabbit's foot out of the box in the attic, I will sacrifice a chicken in the backyard to Moloch.
What?
Let me read that again. With fingers crossed, the old rabbit's foot out of the box in the attic, I will be sacrificing a chicken in the backyard to Moloch. So, Trey, please educate us, folks.
What's the context of that, though?
I don't know. This is just the what would you say? The salutary statement. What is it? What is the statement at the end of an email?
The postscript,
I guess. Whatever. It wasn't a postscript. What is it when you say sincerely?
Oh, like the closing.
Yeah, I failed English.
Not the invocation.
Anyway,
the benediction of the letter. I guess.
So instead of sincerely, he says, with fingers crossed, the old rabbit's foot out of the box in the attic, I will be sacrificing a chicken in the backyard to Moloch. So should we tell people who Moloch is?
Well, I mean, Moloch is the biblical name of a Canaanite god.
And what would they used to do to Moloch? Like, how would they offer, offerings?
Ooh, I haven't been.
All right, so
I've been more focused on Baal lately and a little bit less on Moloch, but I'm imagining it's probably pretty much the same.
The same.
Most of these Canaanite gods, they were worshipped with huge sex orgies, and because of the events that would happen after sex, which would of course become pregnancy, you would have these women who would deliver their babies, and then at the next coming Moloch or Baal worship festival or whatever, they would bring their children and they would sacrifice them. They would burn them to death on the altars of Baal or Moloch while people were having their big orgy worship session. And what ended up happening is that after so many times of this, people got hip to the idea that if men got with women, that they would then make children, and it was kind of a buzzkill to have like the smell of burning children and the sounds of children being burned to death while you're trying to get it on. So men would start to go with men and women with women, because it would then limit the number of children that would be created during this whole sex orgy worship session. But the thing about it was, the sacrifices to Baal were, or to in this case Moloch, they were most of the time they were a result of, well, I can't afford to raise the child. That wasn't my intention when I came to this whole sex orgy worship session, was to like get a kid, so they would give it back to the God, thinking that it was the God that had given it to him during the session.
Like that? Can you hear that?
I can hear you.
Oh, okay. I had a little thing going on in the background there.
Gotcha.
So that I mean, we went from having a good time to talking about like sacrificing babies and stuff,
right?
You know, like burning, incinerating children on the altar of some kind of god of fertility,
right?
You know, like kind of like earth worship or something,
right? Like some kind of like UN Bohemian Grove.
Yeah, I mean like the whole let's have sex and don't have to worry about the what happens after you have
and
sex.
if you get pregnant, you just can run down and just shop vac it,
Yeah, the Planned Parenthood.
Planned Parenthood.
For you. They'll shop vac it, and then, hey, we'll just put it right in the incinerator for you. You don't even have to do it yourself.
We'll even make energy out of it.
Yeah, so you get completely away from having to burn your own children. You can let somebody else do it.
And that's the beauty of living in a country like America. We will make sure that you don't have to like witness you destroying your child.
Yeah, it's
and how dare you?
We're sensitive that way.
We're sensitive that way. That's right. We're not much different than those crazy 4,000-year-old pagan Canaanite god worshippers.
A long time ago. Is it too soon?
It might be a little too soon. You're right. You might be right.
All right, so let's go back to.
Well, we got to take a break. So let's.
Man, you always with this break.
I know. All right, we're gonna take a break, and when we come back, we have the final session. We have some audio. We'll see what other ancient worship god Chris wants to bring up. He might even tie it into social media. Who knows? 504-556-9696. I'm not looking up how many followers Moloch has. This is the Battlefield Live on WGSO 990 AM.
Millions of people are asking the question, what has happened to America? Is there hope? What will our children and grandchildren face in years to come? America, there is hope. The same hope expressed by the colonists in 1607 when they placed a cross on the Virginia shore, proclaiming, "In God we trust." In God we trust. It's still our hope. It's our future. It's our national motto. Go to InGodWeTrust.com and get your hope today.
Experience Augie's, formerly Augie's Glass Garden, now in Harahan. Augie's, truly a gorgeous place. Where can you go to experience super jumbo soft-shell crabs for only $14.95 and the area's largest seafood platters? Private parties, receptions, reunions, and events of all types can be handled at Augie's. 6005 Jefferson Highway in Harahan. Call for reservations 733-3000. Check us out on the web, augiesnola.com. Playmakers Indoor Sports. TOTS program is one of Playmakers' most popular. Our professionally developed curriculum provides our TOTS with a variety of fun games and exercise in a positive, enjoyable, and exciting environment. These great games help your little one develop their motor skills, create confidence, improve their listening skills, and learn how to follow directions, all while promoting fitness and activity. Our TOTS groups range from 18 months to 7 years. Sign up your little tot today or call 504-305-6078. PlaymakersIndoor.com.
Are you looking for a reasonable and affordable way to enhance your image or your company's image on the internet? Are you looking for ways to leverage internet technology to streamline your business? An upgraded website or web application is the way to go. Vast Virtual Solutions is a technology company that specializes in developing websites that operate on the cutting edge with the ability to save you and your business time and money. Visit vastvirtual.com for a business quote today. vastvirtual.com.
Did you ever think that the presumptive Republican nominee for President of the United States would have similar policy and, suggestions as the Democratic Socialist candidate.
I never thought that a Republican candidate for president would hold both liberal and conservative policies at the same time.
Right.
I mean,
Like
this
a
is totally
gyroscope.
fascinating. Visit the website battlefield.buzz for the latest from Chris and Trey from the Battlefield Live radio show. So we've officially figured it out that Moloch on Twitter only has 13 followers.
Thank God.
I mean, you think that maybe if they got to 666 followers, they would stop. But they've stopped on 13. So I guess that's the second best number for those devil worshippers.
Oh, right. No, that's a good point.
So let's go to the phones. We got Phil on the phone. How you doing, Phil?
Hey, good morning, fellas. Good afternoon, brothers and sisters. Listen up. There's going to be a brand new Planned Parenthood site at
Planned Parenthood.
Yeah, scammed.
No, Klan, like the Ku Klux Klan, Planned Parenthood.
Yeah, that's right. Excuse me, you got that right. Planned Parenthood. And it says 4636 666 South Claiborne Avenue. And in the near future, I believe they're going to start sacrificing babies to Mammon, the god of money. And this is real. This is today.
Right.
Brothers and sisters. And you know what? I don't think it's going to last very long because I think God is going to send the great whirlwind, something that's going to be 10 times stronger than Katrina, and destroy the whole city. So
how did I know that Phil was going to call after that?
Yeah, well, not only that, but, Pastor Broden said it good the other day. The fact that in America today, we know that there's a reality of abortion. They're murdering children. Groups like Planned Parenthood, they're just the most noticeable name, but then they're selling baby body parts. So they really are literally making for what the Bible would call mammon. Jesus said in the context like this, he said, you can only serve two gods. You can't serve both God and mammon or money, the world system. So it's like some are literally sacrificing their babies to mammon, the god of this world. I mean, when you look at that situation in the most spiritual sense.
So, The Blindfolded Eyes by Diana Ortiz. Check this out, dude. She said, I drew a tangle of limbs. This is from her book. I drew a tangle of limbs and heads. I drew myself from behind, naked, suspended above the bodies by the wrists. I couldn't draw the line that frosted the dark hair of the corpses. I couldn't draw how it felt to have rats land on me as they were dropped from above, their claws on my head and my hair. I couldn't draw the feel of bodies twitching under my bare feet, women, children, men, some decapitated, some moaning still. Should I go further? I mean, this is pretty crazy, huh?
Yeah. No, I mean, what is the
So to me, think about all.
This is the former nun talking, right?
Yeah, think about all. This is what our State Department was allegedly covering up. This particular instance with, amongst others, in this guy that we were talking about, what was his name again? I just told it to you. Louis M. Selim, right? He was a human rights diplomat or something like that from the State Department. And this is the guy that was apparently covering this stuff up. WikiLeaks is unleashing all these sub-stories that nobody ever talks about that kind of just go through the media because nobody wants to talk about it. And most likely because the government is controlling the media in some respect, right?
Well, let me just say this to give you an idea of what, like, when people say like the media is controlled by the government, let me just give you 6 good examples. Ready?
All right, go ahead.
ABC News executive producer Ian Cameron is married to Susan Rice, Obama's national security advisor.
Wow.
CBS president David Rhodes is the brother of Ben Rhodes, Obama's deputy national security advisor for strategic communications. ABC News correspondent Claire Shipman is married to former Obama White House press secretary Jay Carney.
Wow.
ABC News and Univision reporter Matthew Jaffe is married to Kate Hogan, Obama's deputy
F.A.?
press secretary.
F.A.?
Yeah, Jaffe. ABC President Ben Sherwood is the brother of Obama's special advisor Elizabeth Sherwood. And
These are all coincidences, by the way.
Total coincidence. And lastly, CNN President Virginia Mosley is married to former Hillary Clinton's deputy secretary Tom Nides. So this is why we say that the media is literally in bed with the government, with the administration.
Right.
And it's no different. It's no different than Republicans. I mean, you look at former press secretary Dana
Perino.
I mean, she's on Fox.
Yeah.
You know, so you've got people from that have worked for other news agencies, maybe not the mainstream ones that you always see, but it's just incestuous.
So let's kind of summarize this because we only got a few more minutes here. So statism or socialism, whatever you want to call it, statism is what Plato called it.
Right.
Right. So statism is basically the centralization of power and money in the hands of a few, right? And they pretty much control in a number of different ways. It can be like communism where they control the means of production, or they can be like fascism where they actually control the people that control it, right? In other words, they limit the amount of trade.
Right.
So the point is that when you centralize power and money in the hands of a few in a centralized location like Washington, D.C., what happens is all the people that feed off of that centralize themselves around that source. They're like parasites, right? Sometimes you might hear people call it K Street, right? So when those people are parasitic in nature and they attach themselves as appendages to the federal government, what happens is they do the bidding of the blood that they feed off of. So they sit there and they suck on the tit of government, right? And for the most part, what happens is they do the bidding of the people that are in government, right? So K Street, in order to be able to perpetuate themselves, they do the bidding of the federal government. Because if they do that, then they're going to get more money, more funding. And the closer they are to Washington, D.C., the more money they get. So in many cases, they actually they call it the Beltway. They call it that for a reason, because that's where all the big businesses are that are feeding off the federal government. So as the government grows, all of these things become corrupted because that's the nature of statism. It corrupts everything because power corrupts, right? The famous adage, what's the famous adage?
Absolute power corrupts absolutely.
Right. So
Machiavelli.
It's interesting if you see like what happened in 2008. If you just look at the charts, as a stockbroker, we study charts. So look at all of the small businesses that tanked after 2008, but all the big businesses that have contracts with the government, their business actually grew. And the reason why is because the stimulus didn't go to small businesses. They actually, the small banks, the small businesses, they all, for the most part, were heavily influenced in a negative way. And the stimulus went to the benefactors on K Street, things like that, people that were close to government, and they grew. So the economy looks like it grew. The economy didn't grow. The economy shrunk. We had the highest rate of joblessness in the country in like 50 or 60 years. The lowest home purchases or home ownerships, I think, over in 40 years. These numbers are staggering, but nobody talks about it because they look at the stock market and they say, ooh, stock market looks great. And it's because the interest rates are so low. They're pumping money in with the Fed is pumping money into these banks. They're basically got free money. And what do? They don't loan it to the mom and pops. They do is they put it in the government or they put it into the stock market because they can get better returns there than they can do loaning the money out because the interest rates are so low.
Well, that's all well and good. But I got some good news for you.
Okay.
you don't have to floss anymore, dude.
What?
Yeah, study has come out as junk science, dude. Don't let anybody tell you that you need to floss. Flossing is a scam. And anybody who's out there trying to tell you that I got to floss in order to keep my dental hygiene, you're a damn liar. The official dietary guidelines for America now say that flossing is a sham. You don't have to floss anymore, people.
Thank you for joining us on the battlefield, folks.
All right, so look, check us out on Facebook, Twitter. Check out Chris follow him at Paul Revere again. Follow me at T-Rob Radio. And, of course, go to lanterns.buzz. But if you want to hear more about the show, go to battlefield.buzz. And until tomorrow, we'll see you next time on the battlefield with Chris and Trey on WGSO 990 AM. Good night, NOLA.